Hello and welcome back, everybody! Yes! We are now at episode 2 of RaeCodes Daily, so super stoked about today's recording. So, on the drive back home, I had just finished listening to the audiobook, The One Device, and it was incredible. Like, did not disappoint at all. So if at all by any chance you are curious to know about the history or the origin story, the origin story of the iPhone, definitely recommend checking it out. I actually have the physical copy as well. So super cool, definitely recommend checking it out. It is by Brian Merchant. I may not have said that right, apologies if not, but this book, definitely amazing. The narrator, I wish I had their name right now, but I did post it on Twitter, so make sure you follow me on Twitter at RaeCodes. And I also just sent the link on that one, so you can check it out as well. For me, I started off with the physical book and it was great. I'm the type of person that reads multiple books at a time though, and usually one tends to get more focused than the other ones that I am reading. So this was one that I was reading, but it got pushed to like the back of the shelf. But then Audible had this deal where it was like, get 3 months at some incredible price. And I was like, okay, sure. Why not? And I checked to see if they had this book, and they did. And I was like, oh, that's great, because I very much enjoy reading this book. I love iOS development. Like, yes, I'll get the audiobook as well. And I just made it a part of my daily commute. So anytime that I would be driving in the car by myself, that's what I would play. So normally when I'm in the car with my partner, I usually play music because I love music. Music is very much embedded in me. With my solo time in the car, however, I would specifically listen to audiobooks. They have great selections. And the originals are actually like, whoa, yeah. Okay, so with Audible, I was able to get the same book. Listening to it, the narrator, the way that they told the story, it very much like involved you and immersed you into this world. And you feel like you're going on this journey with this person, like as they're discovering this piece and that piece and this and how that came in. It's amazing. It's incredible, incredible, incredible. And today I had I think I had 15 or 20 minutes, something left. It was like the very end of the story. Just hearing how everything that you heard from the adventure was like wrapped up and summarized in the end. Incredible, 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 incredible. Definitely recommend checking it out. Yes, yes, yes. Now, in regards to today's coding journey, like I talked about before, I am going to be continuing the Udemy course by Brad Hussey, Bootstrap to WordPress. It looks like the very first video is CSS. So I'll be continuing more of the CSS today. I'll also try to fix that alignment issue where the hamburger bar and the X, can I make an X? weren't lining up. So basically get those together. We'll figure it out today. So go through that and yeah. So with the course, there are multiple videos. Each video has a duration of time. I will be adding up a duration that equals out to 1 hour of video. That is what I plan to do today. As of today, also, today is February 17th, and currently it is 12:24. I believe when we started, it was like 12 something, I don't know. But as of right now, it is 12:24. Bam, can I see it? You can kind of see it. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started, and I'll see you in a bit. So let's let's go ahead and get started. Hello everyone. So I just want to show you real quick what progress has been made so far. So this is where we started at yesterday. So as you can see, we got the links changed to white, the buttons or bullet points, if you will, were taken off, and then they have this nice hover effect. That is before today's work. And then let me just uncomment this. Switch back over. What? All of that is hidden. It is still there, but because of CSS, it is hidden and styled. So can't wait to show you what's coming up next. Okay, I just had to share this because this is super cool. As of right now, it is 1:16. Yes, 1:16 as of right now. And I'm telling you, yes, it's an hour worth of video tutorial content duration, but the details and the information that is given, there is so much that you can just marinate on each one of them. Particularly in this case, when Brad Hussey is using specificity. And I'll explain that in a second. But what I wanted to show you was, because of that, when we hover, so like how this one, you can hover, and this one you can hover, but you see how this one has this down caret. It has this sub menu. So when you hover over it, now it actually pulls up the sub menu. And when you hover over each one of these ones, they have an animation that kicks in the transition. It's moving with ease. The transition moves the links over with this ease effect. So you have the hover effect, and then you also have this animation. So this is what I want to show, cool things that you can do with CSS. And this is just the beginning, and super excited to bring the rest to you. See you in a bit. Okay, so currently it is 3:06, still going through the course. Today, he went deep. And by that, I'm specifically talking about specificity. So with that, what it means is that you are specifically targeting the things that you are trying to change or modify. When you use outside resources with your code, sometimes they can overwrite what you're currently doing. So how we are using flat icon, we are using Bootstrap, we're using these different resources to help style our page. So when you have that specific thing that you are targeting, you are making sure that there is no interruption to what you're trying to do, if that makes sense. So instead of just targeting just the ID, you're targeting the ID that's within the sub, that's within this, or the child of certain elements. So I have a list, it's an unordered list, and in that unordered list, there's links. And in that link, I'm looking for a specific tag or class. That, by you doing that, it makes it so that your code is very direct, very precise. That being said, with the amount that is currently done, and I still haven't even finished one of the bigger chunk videos of the day, but so far in the CSS, it's already over 500 lines of code. And by that, I just mean scroll. And with something like this, he did mention he didn't just come up with this on the fly. He actually had done this ahead of time, so he has his code to reference. That's something that's very important when people are doing these tutorials. Like, yes, you can go through the tutorial, you can feel like you're doing a lot, everything that you're seeing is working, unless there's something that goes wrong, and then you have to figure out what went wrong. But for the most part, you're following the instructor. And by you following the instructor, it's very much a hand-holding process. And with that, you're moving, you're making significant strides and steps very quickly. The cool thing about working with personal projects is it's a sandbox environment, comparing this to enterprise level. So you at home on a personal project following an instructor, when they are giving you these things to type in, it's really cool and sometimes very helpful to actually delete what they wrote and see what changed on the page. Modify things around, go up to the documentation to see exactly what that attribute or feature or whatever is doing. So then that way you can actually understand it at a deeper level. So as I'm going through, I'm listening to what he's talking about, I'll type it in myself, but then if it's something that I don't understand, I pause. What is that? Oh, that's right, that's what this does. That's how you want to go through these tutorials. Go back, watch it all the way through, and then go back, type it again. Or maybe you type it at first, side by side, hand in hand, and then you go back and watch it all the way through. Whatever works best for you is what works best for you. You get me? So, yeah, as of right now, it's Kitty Girl's lunchtime, so I'm gonna take a break and I'll see you in a bit. All right, and now I'm back. So as of right now, well, just to give you a little bit more insight, because it's a vlog. Yes, you get to see this document. Hello, future me. So right now, our cat had oral surgery where she actually had to get a couple teeth extracted. She actually has to go back to get another one done. But because of that, with her mealtime, she's like transitioning from soft food back into wet food or hard food, but then it's like soaked wet food, or soaked hard. Blah, 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 blah. So with her food, we are actually taking her kibble and soaking it, making sure it's like soft, like very mushy, so it's very easy for her to consume. When it's her lunchtime, her feeding time, definitely like want to watch her, see how she's doing, making sure that she's okay, essentially. So yeah, now we're back. As of right now, it is 4:16, and just gonna hop back in, pick up right from where I left off. And after that, once I finish the block of videos, then I'll be back to wrap up today's vlog. See you in a bit. All right, finally, at the stop point. Currently it's 5:13, and just want to show a final thing of what we got done today. Today was a lot of CSS, and I'll talk about that in a second. It really puts into perspective, like when you are coding, there is things that you're going to be doing that take time. When you are coding, you are sometimes solving these problems as you go along. So you may have a certain thing in mind, like, hey, I know I want to highlight this, but then you may have like something else that you have to take off. So these things, even though yes, you can do them fast inside a course, or you can copy and paste and just be done, these things in real projects take time. So that is something that I did want to emphasize, but I did want to show, so how we got the drop-down menu. There's this cool animation that's going on. And like I said, the sidebars, but what's really cool is how it is ready for mobile thanks to media queries. So when you get to a certain breakpoint or screen size, this actually brings up that hamburger that was floating down here. So now these items in the navigation are now in here when a person is at a mobile screen size. So that being said, when someone clicks now, this back bar or background pops up. The actual things that were in the navigation, as you see there, are now in here. And the submenu also works as well. So just like how we saw this submenu pop down here, we have it so when you go to the blog and you click, the submenu pops up here. This is all thanks to JavaScript and jQuery. Like, yes. So cool, but really stoked with how much got done today. Definitely looking forward to tomorrow. So I'll see you in a bit and we'll wrap up today's video. Okay, so that is a wrap for today's video. Definitely today reminded me, it was a nice reminder, refresher, that yes, you can very much be like, ooh, I'm going to watch this many videos today. But then when you're actually in it as someone who is programming, you are going to run into bugs sometimes. And bugs just mean your code didn't do what you wanted it to do, so then you have to find it. Figure it out, make it work, you know? So with that knowledge, I realized that the goal itself should probably be tweaked or adjusted so that way I can continue to do this experience of coding, vlogging, posting it the next day. So instead of 1 hour of video tutorial duration combined time, I am thinking of coding myself in physical time for a certain chunk of time, just depending on whatever my schedule has available for that day. Luckily today I did have the extra time to go ahead and get more done. So I haven't figured out what I'm going to do about the adjusting just yet. Most likely I will let you know once I know. You know? Also, something else super fun, super fun, is I also started re-recording for my former podcast. Because I actually started a podcast back in 2021. I recorded a few episodes, it was amazing, I loved it. I figured out the style, the format, how I want to do it, all that glam, right? So today, I was like, you know what? Yes, let's go ahead and bring that podcast back and then have that be the behind the scenes, the before and after of these videos that I am bringing to you now. So be sure to subscribe. I will link it at the bottom, but it is called Retail to Tech, and it is available anywhere that you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google, etc. And yeah, go ahead and get the behind the scenes, the untucked, the I didn't know. Not saying that it's spicy or juicy or anything like that. Just saying, like, it's my thoughts before and the after without the editing. So it is just me talking directly to you and my future self, of course, you know? So be sure to check that out. And if you haven't already, be sure to like this video. Follow me on Twitter at RaeCodes. Subscribe, hit that bell notification. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. It was a pleasure. And until then, hasta luego.